A lot of people know when you find yourself locked up or incarcerated in the hands of the system, a lot of guards, get away with a bunch of stuff. For this video, I'm going to be telling y'all one of the most bizarre things that I seen a prison guard get away with inside a prison. And it isn't just because I'm an ex-con that I want to speak on it. It's more like I want people to understand that I feel like when it comes to the system, it's a lose-lose situation, even if you're right. You get what I'm saying? So go ahead and get ready, sit back and enjoy this real spill, and let's talk about it. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with a lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit that notification bell, man, so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Frog, if you ain't been here that often. And almost everything I talk about over here is either prison or jail related, because I want people to know what it's truly like on the other side of that gate. For this video, man, I'm going to be answering a question that I get a lot. And I'm going to give it to y'all, as honest and as straightforward as I can. All right, so people want to know what's the the worst thing that I seen a prison guard do inside a prison. Now, when it comes to this type of stuff, they get away with unlimited amount of things. Of course, it isn't only inmates that break the law. It isn't only inmates that break the rules. And I've told y'all multiple times, multiple stories and scenarios of things that prison guards did. But this one situation right here has always been here in the mind, and it always makes me wonder. I wonder whatever happened to this inmate. I wonder where this inmate is today. All right, now I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna let y'all know how it all went, and y'all let me know what y'all think. But this right here is the most bizarre thing that I've seen a prison guard do inside a prison. All right, now everybody knows when you're locked up and you find yourself incarcerated, they're gonna give you a job. All right, you ain't laying in bed all day like you're used to in the county jail. When you're inside of the chain gang inside of prison, your ass is gonna go to work or you're gonna go to education. One of the two, no matter what it is, they're gonna give you some type of job. You're not just sleeping all day. All right, now it's crazy because there was this inmate, right, and he got the shit end of the stick on the situation. Which, don't get me wrong, he was trying to do what he thought was a quick come up, but the way the guards reverse it and flip things around. But anyways, this inmate's job was he was working outside the gate. I won't really speak on the exact institution I was at, but he had to work outside the gate with other fellow inmates. And what they did is they had to clean up on the side of the roads, on the highways, pick up trash and everything like that along the sides of the interstates and etc. Right? And you got to be careful when you're doing stuff like that, because you got a lot of animals. And what I mean by animals is I mean gators and, snakes and things that can actually hurt you. All right. Now, this inmate, he wasn't really, that familiar with the squad, which means that the guards didn't really know him like that. He just got on that squad and got placed to working outside that gate not that long, But it blew my mind because they had other inmates that were on those squads that worked outside this gate that didn't pick up trash, that didn't pick up stuff on the interstate, but they actually made them clean up stuff from shooting range, like shells, make targets, and stuff like that. Which is crazy to me because as, convicted felons, you're not allowed to a shooting range. You're not allowed, around that type of stuff. That right there is a way for you to get arrested. You understand? But the prisons still seem to, low-key have inmates doing this while in custody in their presence. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's kind of, wrong, if you ask me, if you're gonna arrest these people for going to a place like that on the streets, why should you have the okay and the authority to have them work here at that? You get what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So a lot of inmates would clean up shells, and they had these buckets, like 5-gallon buckets, you know, and they had to like rake and shovel just a shitload of shells. They'd find ones that were not even used, like actual bullets that weren't, you know, used yet. And, you know, they fill these buckets up, and then they got to haul off these buckets of these shells and ammunition and stuff like that, you know. Now, it's crazy because you've actually had inmates find little, you know, revolvers, little small pocket rockets, turn them into the guards and stuff like that. But in my mind, it's like I said, inmates shouldn't even be around this type of stuff. That's why I said low-key, you know. But anyways, this inmate, his name was Red. He was a white boy, red hair. You know, red little facial hair. And he decided once he got to work outside the gate, he decided he was going to jump on an RV, the RTV thing, you know, 4-wheeler. And he was going to go pick up, you know, some stuff that he had some individuals drop. You know, like dope, cigarettes, money, whatever it was. So he jumped on the 4-wheeler, decided to ride off through the woods real quick and go meet up, you know, and drop, you know, pick up the bomb. Because like I said, he had a game plan. He was going to try to come up real quick. And some people ended up seeing him. And the people that seen him realized Red was riding by himself on the 4-wheelers. And normally, they ride in a group. So that's the first thing that caught, you know, suspicion. Which it was the wildlife, you know, the wildlife officers is who seen him riding through the woods and stuff like that. It wasn't like prison guards, it was like wildlife police, you know. So the first thing they did is they just called it in to, you know, the little headquarters station where all the inmates are at, you know, that DOT people, and waited for him to come back. And when he came back, he had a bunch of stuff, bunch of contraband, bunch of money, bunch of drugs, you know, everything. He was just doing this one time just to try to make a big come up, right? Now, if you look at it, some people feel like, oh, he was wrong anyways. He shouldn't be doing that type of stuff. Which, yeah, he was wrong. But this is where it gets a little tricky, to where I feel like this is one of the most bizarre and crookedest things I've seen prison officers do to inmates. Now, when it came time for him to come back, they already got the phone call from the wildlife. So they decided, you know what? We'll just wait for him to arrive with whatever he went out there to get. And sure enough, he pulls back up, smiling from ear to ear, thinking that everything's straight, thinking that he's gonna be good. Boy, he done got enough to, you know, he finna take over the whole compound. You feel me? Comes back, they book that boy, right? Warden comes over there. When the warden comes there and they're talking and everything, one of the officers, which this is what a lot of people were talking about, is one of the officers actually say, he ain't going in for just drugs. Drugs ain't the only thing that he's getting charged with. So a lot of people were like, what you mean? That's what he brought. That ain't it. And they threw ammunition in there to make it look like he got caught with ammo also. He ended up catching 15 years. He got ad charged just for them throwing that ammunition inside of whatever else he was smuggling in. You see, and to me, that's bizarre. And I use that word bizarre because I don't never use that word. But I just wanted to use it to categorize, you know, this, to let y'all know why I think it's bizarre. Because that man was only around the ammunition because them guards had them working out there in the shooting ranges. You know, that's the only reason they were around ammunition in the first place, when they weren't supposed to be around ammunition in the first place. But they still managed, just because they didn't like him and he wasn't known on the squad like all the other inmates were. He was new to the squad. They wanted to make an example out of him. So they decided to throw that in there to make it look like he smuggled in drugs, money, tobacco, and ammo. And by them throwing that one extra little thing right there, ended up getting him 15 years added on to his sentence. Okay? And for those that don't know how it works, when you really work outside the gate and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, it's short timers that do that. You know, you done got your custody dropped to, you know, community, you know, and minimum and stuff like that, where you're actually allowed outside that fence. So, guarantee he got way more time than he had left on his sentence by getting that 15 years. And I just think it's so flawed that they can get away with stuff like that, because when I sit there and I look at it, I've been out for a while now. But when I go back and I look at when it was, it's still like not even half of his sentence. He's still got half of that to do right now as I'm speaking to y'all. You understand? And it's crazy because they get away with this type of stuff all the time. You know, a pen is a very dangerous thing inside of prison when it comes to guards. Guards can write up anything they want, anybody they want, and they can make anything happen to you, you know. And, you know, the court systems, the judges, and the jails, you know, they've heard it all. They've seen it all when it comes to crimes being committed. So whether they know or not, they're going to just sign off on whatever. You get what I'm saying? They're looking at what this paper says. And if this paper says this officer states that you had ammo inside of that contraband bag that you brought in, and probably 5 or 6 other guards that were around to back up their officer are going to have paperwork saying the same thing. If he sees that plus the 5 dudes other backing them up's paperwork, that's 6 guards saying that, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to give you that time. To me, I think that's the worst thing that I've seen a prison guard do to somebody. Because over something so petty and so simple, you just took 15 years of that man's life. And you don't know that man other than the fact that he's one of your inmates right now. You get what I'm saying? And not everybody in prison is guilty. You know, so he could have been innocent and he was just trying to find a way to hustle to pass his time. And you just didn't like he tried that you just decided to bam and get him the hammer. And you just took a whole chunk out of his life, his parents' life, if he's got kids, their life, as you know, parenting and everything. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you just did such a big fuckboy move just because he was trying to, you know, do what he did to hustle. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody knows inside of prison the way it goes with hustles. Everybody's always trying to find a way to bring something in and get stuff in there, you know? So it's like, by the time you get something in, if you're dealing with other people, everybody's got to get broke off. So if that shit gets dropped and then it hot potatoes from where it got dropped to who grabs it, from who grabs it to who drops it in the next spot, who picks it up there, who brings it to here, to brings it in the gate, however it is, these are all mouths that got to be fed. You understand? So shit, the less mouths that, you know, are on that, the less that got to be fed, the more profit you make. That's why Red felt like he would just jump on that four-wheeler and he would just go and, you know, go handle that shit himself. You know, just go and cut all the middlemen out and just jump on that bitch and go. The guards ain't paying attention. They don't know I'm here or anything like that, you know. So I'm just going to go ahead and head out and do that. He had a little thing mapped out in his mind. And if it would have went smooth, if he wouldn't have got caught up by the wildlife police, then hey, you know, it probably could have, you know, did him some good. You get what I'm saying? But the fact that the guards did that shiesty ass shit, I think of stuff like that, you know, and I look at it like, there's so many people in prison, you know, and you would be shocked to know how many of them are literally, you know, guilty, or how many of them are actually innocent, you know, because everybody says they're innocent. Everybody tries to explain like they're innocent, you know, and when they're your dogs, you're going to think that they're innocent, you know, or if they got a good reason behind it, you'll feel like they're innocent, you know, but to see them do some fuckboy shit like that straight up and to know they did it, just to charge him, you know, just because he played on their shift and tried to stunt like that, that's some grimy ass shit, you know what I'm saying? And this is the type of stuff that they get away with, you know? It would blow your mind, you know, how many people are in there that don't deserve to be in there. You know, it would have been different if y'all ad charged him and gave him the time, you know, for the little drugs he got smuggled in or whatever. He didn't even smuggle it in yet, so they can't even charge him with introduction or contraband. You know, he got caught with it outside the gate. He didn't even come in yet. So they should have just, if they were going to take it to that level, they should have just took it to the level of what it was. But at that point, I feel like you're setting someone up now. Now you're literally like adding to their sentence. You feel me? Rather than them catching the sentence themselves. Now you're making up shit and making it a longer stretch. You know what I'm saying? And they do this stuff all the time. You know, I've told stories about 2 inmates were fighting in confinement one time, and they got gassed by the guards. And when they got gassed, the boys were gasping for air. They were on the floor trying to get as much wind as they could from under the cell. When they took them boys out, you know, in handcuffs, one of them, they dropped on his head off the stretcher. He wasn't breathing no more. They charged his cellie for killing his bunkie. And all he was screaming in the shower, because when you get gassed, you know, they got to record you showering. It's got to show that they let you shower after you were sprayed, after they popped the can on you. So as he's in the shower showering and they're recording him, they're letting him know, you know, your bunkie's dead. You're being charged with murder. Your bunkie's dead. And he's yelling as he's trying to get this shit all off his face. He's like, I ain't kill him. He's like, what do you mean? I ain't kill him. Y'all did that. He cuffed up. He cuffed up. Because it's true. He wouldn't have been able to cuff up, stick his hands behind his back and then out the flap to get cuffed up if his bunkie beat his ass to death. You get what I'm saying? No. Clearly, because they gassed. And by them gassing, he couldn't breathe. And he probably fell on his chin and had his hands already cuffed or whatever it was. And he passed out from not being able to breathe. And then they dropped him on his head right in front of the whole dorm. FDLE came there, the Federal Department of Law Enforcement, and they literally started pulling inmates out and started asking everybody questions. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's had the same story. Like, you could see they dropped him off the stretcher on his head. You know, not saying that that's what killed him, the little fall on his head, but it could have helped. But he did, you know, go unconscious from them gassing him. It wasn't because of the bunkie. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole crazy thing. And they charged that man with that, you know? And I've told y'all, I had a guard grab a pen one time and said, I can get you 20 years just with this pen right here. You see? He threatened me too. He was like, I can grab 3 people out of each dorm right now and write your name on the end of it. Make it look like you told me this. And I can just go get some random people. And next thing you know, when you go back to the main compound, they're going to want to kill you. And everywhere you go, they're going to want to kill you. You see? He's like, I can get you 20 years with this pen right here. And out of my whole year working in DOC, not one time did I side with an inmate. Like, it's that dangerous with these guards, you understand? So for them to set that inmate up with that ammo is mind-blowing to me. You get what I'm saying? And some guards, you know, they live for that shit. You know, they literally live to make people's life miserable. All right? I've told y'all about an officer who had a sleeve tattoo. And his sleeve was a bunch of guards. And then right here was like, looked like biohazard tanks. And it was guards gassing an inmate. He had a sleeve of that. He had cans, gas cans, the same shit that they spray inmates with in prison with, and it all went up his arm as a sleeve connected to the guards wearing Florida guard outfits, gassing a Florida inmate. Like, if that doesn't show you that they stand on that they live by doing this type of shit to people, then I don't know what else you need to see that. You know, like, them boys got it sleeved, got it tatted. That just shows you they love to gas and harm inmates. And sucks to be Red, but he's got about 7.5, 8 more years to do off of that ammo they set them up with. It's crazy. If y'all seen something like this before, drop it in the comment section. Let me know. What's the craziest thing you seen when you were locked up that guards got away with to inmates? Was there a certain thing they were known to do all the time? I've seen guards plant razor blades on people just to gas them. I've seen it all. You know what I'm saying? But drop it in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think he was wrong for jumping on the 4-wheeler, going over there? He shouldn't have been doing that in the first place? Do you really think that's a wrongful enough to where they should have planted that on him like they did? If so, drop it in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Your opinion's your opinion, you know? But I feel like they were 100% wrong and flawed on that fuckboy shit. You know? I feel like if they wanted to charge him, they should have just charged him with what he actually brought. Not set him up and just get him a long haul just because you don't like him and you feel tried as a guard that he would try that. Why'd you feel like he was going to tell people that you had inmates working inside the gun range thing? Is that probably what it was? So you just thought, oh, we'll just bury him before he could bury us? You never know. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. And y'all drop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Honesty goes a long way, so does that comment section. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man, and like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, them heavy gunners, them low-keys, you know, clowns, keep them all at your circle, man, and them fuck boys like them prison guards. Until next time, this the one and only, I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.